I'm right in front of the jail.
What?
Plumbing repair, electrical repair.
Buyer beware.
Oh my God. So y'all, I just came to this unit and I'm like, dang, they couldn't clean up before I come. Whatever, it's cool. I come outside and I notice I'm right in front of the jail.
What?
I am right in front of the jail. Look, you see? Hey.
Oh, wait.
Turn up.
Hold up.
Turn up.
Hold up. This girl's looking at a condo or apartment. I don't know what it is, regardless of what it is. This thing is built in front of a prison building. First of all, I didn't even know they had prison buildings this big, much less in Miami, in the heart of Miami. And to have an apartment building, an apartment complex right in front of it, I don't know, let's just keep watching. Let's see what happens.
I got the jail
I
lit.
got the jail lit. Wow.
That is so funny. They playing basketball down there. And they have a perfect view of this unit. So yeah, for only $3,000, you and your best friend could rent this 2-bedroom, 2-bath unit at downtown 5th Miami.
Okay, so this is obviously something that's very unusual. This is not every building, not every home in the country, but it's an interesting start to the topic that we're going to be talking about today, and that is houses, apartments, how things are being built, the cost of things. How does this all tie in, and what does this mean for you as a person that's possibly maybe wanting to buy, wanting to rent, wanting to move somewhere? These are some things that we're going to look at. So stay tuned. We got a lot to cover, and we're going to read over some comments as well. So stay with me. If you like these kinds of videos, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and maybe even leave a comment, and I'll feature you in one of my future videos.
Hey, yo, do not buy a newly constructed house, man.
This one
I'm
has some
telling you right now, worst mistake of my
words.
life, man. We bought this home 2 years ago and have already spent $7,500 worth of plumbing repair, electrical repair. It's flooding, but the way they sell these is so smooth. These be looking so beautiful, all bright, big windows, 2-door garage, his and her sinks and marble top in the kitchen and all of this. I'm telling you, these newly constructed homes that they're selling, they're probably building them with $60,000 and selling these for upward $300,000, yo.
One thing I got to warn you about whenever you're buying a new home, and any home in general, you got to ask about the warranty. New homes will usually carry a warranty. Some of them will give you up to 10 years, depending on what they're covering, like a roof or AC unit. 7,500 in 2 years is excessive. That's way beyond what a new homeowner should have to pay for repairs. So make sure you get it in writing, some kind of a contract, some kind of warranty that they will cover the cost of any kind of damage that is not from normal wear and tear. You're absolutely right. My daughter bought a home for $425,000 in North Alabama. She had installed the fixtures to mount her flat screen TVs. The installer informed her that there was no insulation in the attic. Within 2 months, the door trims were separating. The wall was thin and you could not hang a picture of any size. The kitchen counter was separating from the wall. And to top that off, the septic tank was smelling within a year. I won't call any names, but all over the US, he is a top builder. The homes are just a beautiful shell. Fortunately, she had the repairs done and sold the house. This sounds like a terrible story. Terrible story to have to sit there and have somebody else that's coming to do a random job like mounting a TV, and they're the ones that have to tell you, "Hey, this wasn't done properly in your house." To have the walls being paper thin and no insulation, that is going to be a disaster come winter, come summer. I know those temperatures get over there, get high and low, and I hope that the next person that gets his house gets the repairs done properly, because they're going to be miserable in these extreme weather.
There's some new condos built in my neighborhood. You gotta hop the curb to get in your car garage. It's pretty cool. This is my favorite one yet. Look at this garage. For real? What the?
Okay. All right. I don't know what happened here. I don't know who decided to build these condos, who thought this layout was genius. First of all, if you didn't see that, there's literally no entrance to the driveway. It's literally the curb and then the entrance to your garage. So somebody completely missed the fact that this is a driveway into your garage. Secondly, did y'all see that light post in front of the garage door? I get it. New things come up, in the middle of nowhere sometimes, but did nobody come up with this idea that like, hey, maybe let's not put this driveway right in front. Maybe let's design it a little bit different. Maybe let's face it a different direction. I can't think of how many people must have bypassed this and like completely overlooked this big pole right in the middle. Okay, I'm actually going to read this comment here, which actually brings a good point. It says, city inspector should be fired and reported. This should have never passed. I remember when I had my first home built, this was back in Texas, almost 10 years ago. I remember there being so many weights in between each little thing, digging out the dirt, needed an inspector. Putting the piping, needed an inspector. Pouring the concrete, needed an inspector. And it was a total of like 23 different inspections that had to be done before the walkthrough could even be done. So, yes, where is the city inspector? And I mean, did they not have one? Maybe they're, I don't know. Let's just
Do
move on.
not buy a home that is new construction. I'm going to tell y'all a little story. I bought a home roughly 7.5 years ago from the company D.R. Horton, one of the worst building, development companies there is out there. They put these homes up fast and cheap. So I bought a home from D.R. Horton, brand new home. It was a townhouse and was the first one on the block to purchase a home. First ones on the block. They offered an incentive they usually do under new construction to pay majority of the closing costs, which is the reason why I went for it, because that closing costs can get expensive. And this was in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, so very expensive. So they were paying offering to pay majority of the closing costs. So went with them, and it was new construction. 2, maybe 3 years in, house already has a major plumbing problem. We had the kitchen was right below the master bathroom. It was 2-story, obviously.
Okay, I'm gonna pause the video here because it's a very long video. He describes in detail what happened after this catastrophe. Basically, what he's saying is he bought a new home, and I believe he said he bought a D.R. Horton home, which we're gonna probably hear more about D.R. Horton later on in this video. But basically, bought a home, he's taking a shower, bath, I'm not sure. He came back down, water all over the floor. It was leaking from the ceiling. He put his finger up in there somewhere. I guess he punctured the paint, and then more water started leaking down. Needless to say, this was a defect from the builder, and it wasn't the first one in that area. So this is like a common problem amongst the homes done by this builder that he just mentioned, which is D.R. Horton. So he's saying, do not buy a house from D.R. Horton. Or in general, he's saying do not buy a new construction home, because we're seeing that a lot of these builders are just doing what they can as fast as they can while the prices of homes are extremely high. And we're talking fast and cheap. And that's literally what it is. They do it as fast as they can, as cheap as they can, completely neglecting quality, neglecting safety. People are starting to catch on that these new homes are no good anymore. So we're going to look a lot into these new home builds, new builds, and see what it means for you as a buyer. If I have learned anything from TikTok, it is not to buy D.R. Horton homes. I think D.R. Horton's home by now, we have established that is one of the cheapest quality homes that you can buy. So sorry if you bought one. Not trying to, knock on you or anything, but I rent a new construction and I'm convinced it's made out of vanilla wafers. That's kind of actually funny. It's sad, but funny. It cost them less than $80,000 to build, and they sell them for $300,000 plus. Bring back brick and stone homes. Well, they really are made out of brick and stone already.
We
Anyway,
just bought this new house like, I don't know, a year ago. And it's a new build. Great, love that. We complained to the builder that the floors are really squeaky. I said, oh yeah, it's because you guys keep turning off the AC and then turning it back on. First off, no, I don't. If you know me, it's an icebox in my home all the time. So 8 months later of lots and back and forth of it being our issue, they're finally fixing it. Great, love that. Let's see what they actually did building this house, because it's ridiculous. They missed installing the floors correctly. All of those nails should be in, my understanding, the subfloor or something like that. So the floors just squeak the second you step on them. Squeaky, 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 everywhere. Come on, bro. How is that passed?
I want to bring a good point out here from this comment. It says, "Don't let builders bully you. Get a full home inspection from a third party." This is very true. Whenever you buy a house, don't depend on the builder's inspectors. Don't depend on the city inspectors, because they do not care about you. They don't care about what costs you're going to incur after you move in. So get your own personal inspector, somebody that's actually going to do a really good job, preferably somebody that you trust, somebody that has a lot of experience. Another comment here. In addition to the lack of detail and pride in craftsmanship, the lumber they use now isn't as sturdy as the old growth lumber. Best to get an older home if you want it to last. But they come with their own issues: lead, asbestos, mold, etc. You just can't win these days. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, there's a plus and a minus to every single thing. I guess you just got to choose your battle. Which one do you want to deal with? Do you want to deal with older home issues, or do you want to deal with poor quality?
This new home, the rain. The idea is for the water to be pushed away from the foundation, but it's running right back. There's a large hole here by the exterior disconnect. And they just filled it with silicone. Tried to cover it with a little bit of mortar, but that's just coming off. In the backyard, we've got a drainage problem, so it's just pulling here in the back and all the way alongside the fence. The gas meter, the bonding clamp, is just loose. Bonding conductor needs to be attached right there. Just laying it on top doesn't quite do it. Irrigation, spraying right on the fence. Upstairs floor receptacle. Didn't quite get that installed. In the upper attic, you can see moisture inside of this box vent. Water had been coming in during that rain. Droplets on top of the duct come down and it's dripping off the bottom of the duct. That's all wet, and it would have dripped into the insulation. Lock it. The deadbolt does not engage all the way. That's because it's too shallow behind the latch plate.
It doesn't take a home inspector to know that this was a terrible job. Whoever was working on this, whoever is in charge, whoever is the supervisor, they did not pay attention to any detail. It looked like they just they're literally just patching things up, putting band-aids over the things that they messed up. And that water that you're looking at that's coming into the attic, yeah, that's going to turn into mold pretty soon. So good luck to these people. Hopefully they didn't actually buy this house yet and they're just doing a pre-inspection, because that's a recipe for disaster already ready to happen. And they want 400K plus. Yeah, that's definitely a poor quality home. The lack of pride in their work is actually wild. Yeah, you can tell that the people that are doing this, it's literally somebody that's probably just there for a paycheck, and they're just trying to get out of there as soon as possible. They're not trying to spend
Home
extra
buyers
time.
are backing out of deals at a record pace right now. The reason why I bring this up is because one of my buyers backed out of their deal this morning due to inspection issues. And it got me thinking, how many buyers are actually backing out of deals right now? August 2025, 15.1% of transactions fell through. Most of it was due to inspection issues, then it was financing issues, and then it was just general economic uncertainty. Buyers are seeing the increase in inventory. My buyer, for example, has seen all the other homes.
So if you're looking to buy a new home or a home in general, keep in mind that there are other homes. If you're looking at a house and you like the house, but it has issues already that you're seeing just off the bat, there's more issues that are going to be visible once you move in. So look for another house. Like he says, there's more and more houses out on the market, and we are starting to see that buying a new home, despite all the incentives, is not always the best idea.
This is a warning that is going out to everyone out there that is thinking about buying a new home. If you're thinking about buying a new home, especially if that home is built by D.R. Horton, you better buyer beware. That's why these homeowners right here, they have houses in South Carolina that are basically falling apart. Yeah, they are built so poorly, they have had to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in just the most basic of repairs, like making sure the roof works, making sure pipes are there, making sure electrical outlets even have electricity running to them. I mean, they are having significant problems because the houses are literally falling apart. And that means that the onus falls on the homeowner because after a year, DR Horton says, hey, it's not our responsibility. So if you are, whether it's DR Horton or anyone else, if you're thinking about or going to buy a new home, the most important person in that entire transaction is your lawyer. Let me tell you right now, if you don't have a lawyer, these builders will take advantage at every chance they get. So never, ever get involved with the new home without having an attorney.
It's not the first time I hear about this company. I've heard about D.R. Horton. I've heard about them for when I first bought my first home. And I remember back in that day, 10 years ago, they were already a cheap quality build. I mean, I could tell even as a first time home buyer, I would walk into these houses and I was like, this is a new house. Like, why is everything so poorly done? I mean, you can just look at the edges on the floor, like the caulking, the way it was just sloppily done, like it was somebody's first day on the job, and they just did their training, and there you go. The quality of the material that I would see, the type of carpet, I mean, the flooring that they used, everything was as cheap as I could imagine cheap is. After a year, like you said, there is no warranty, there's no money back for you. You are responsible fully. And if you're thinking about using your homeowner's insurance, good luck because it's never going to go back down. Your insurance is just going to keep going up and up every time.
This is a nightmare house.
New construction that started falling apart within a few months.
And the problem continues.
Windows that bowed out. Walls that leaked with rain or snow.
We could smell the gas.
An oven tagged as
an explosion hazard.
Then this. Water the last place it should be.
This was a significant volume of water.
And finally, the structure of the building itself, discovered by a city engineering review.
The beam over the garage door, high enough to withstand a wind shear event or a high wind event. I can't use my garage, I can't use my shower, I can't use one of the light fixtures, I can't use my oven.
The builder, Sustainable Design Build, didn't return our emails asking for comment. A dream house turned nightmare. She just wants fixed.
The number of issues that I've had is unbelievable. And it makes me fearful for what I haven't noticed yet, for what's going to develop in the future.
The builder, Sustainable Design Build, didn't return our emails asking for comment. It was supposed to start in July.
It's 3 months later. The work still hasn't been done. As far as I know, it hasn't been scheduled.
Okay, I feel so sorry for this woman. Looks like she bought this house. It was probably maybe a dream home. Maybe I don't know the situation, but there's so many problems. I'm just looking at the picture right now where she's pointing to a beam in the middle of her garage. I'm sorry, what? How did this even happen? Like, why did she buy the house with a beam in the middle of the garage? I don't know, but looks like she's got a lot of problems with this builder. But based off of the name, it sounds like it's a pretty fairly new company, Sustainable Design Builder. I don't know. I've never heard of them. It looks like they're out of Denver based on the hashtag. It says Builder Woman Denver. So I really hope that if you are gonna buy a house, that you get somebody to help you look at these things that are very apparent. This beam in the middle of the garage should have been a dead giveaway. Like, hey, something's not right here, and all these things that you can't use. Explosion hazard on the oven. I mean, that. I'm sorry. This is just a terrible story. What happened to the city inspector? Yeah, good question. Sounds like they didn't get an inspection done. I don't understand how people will spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a home but refuse to pay $1,000 for a home inspection. Makes a very good point. If you're going to spend money on this asset of yours or liability, whatever you want to call it, you need to have somebody professional that's not involved in either side. That's going to, when I say either side, meaning somebody that's trying to get you to buy the house, you don't want somebody that's just going to be like, oh yeah, yeah, it's good because their friend is their realtor. And on the other side, you don't want the seller to have their inspector because they're just trying to sell you the house no matter what. So get somebody that's neutral, your own third party. How does the city inspector sign off on this? Don't you have to have a certificate of occupancy? No way it should have passed inspection. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are happening nowadays. For whatever reason, things are getting passed, things are getting overlooked. I don't know if they're doing things remotely now. There's cracks all over this house, all over the walls. This house is one rainstorm away, or whatever area this is, one storm rainstorm away, yeah, from falling apart. It's on a cliff, as you may have seen on that last little section. It's on a cliff, and it's only going to take a little bit of a shift in that ground, and this house is going to fall apart. I would not even walk it. But the moment I see that, I'm walking out of the house. I'm not spending a second more looking at it, see, oh, how beautiful the view is, or let me look at the kitchen. Like, no. You see cracks in the wall like that, run. Is there even a way to fix this? Seems like a tear down and don't build there. How many issues for the life of the house with trying to push it together? Yeah, I don't know that this is really fixable in my opinion. I mean, I'm not a foundation builder, but aside from the foundation, those walls need to be rebuilt. Well, at least all the drywall needs to be redone. I don't know about the framing. This is my parents'. Oh, well, this is her house. This is my parents' new built house. They are taking legal action against the builders, and it's starting to get fixed. I don't know about getting it fixed, girl. I would tell them to move on, get their money back. If that piece of duct tape wasn't, if that piece of duct tape wasn't there, the whole house might have went down the hill. Oh man, that's a good comment and hilarious, but sad for the homeowners that bought the house because, yeah, as you can see now, they're having to fix it. And how terrible it is. You buy a house and you're excited to move in, and then it's like, oh, now you got to wait 6 months for us to fix it. Yeah, just don't deal with it. If it has issues, don't even bother. Tell them to fix it, and then you'll buy it. It's sad to see this woman crying. Apparently, she bought this home, $1 million home, looks like, and she can't live in it. But it says uninhabitable. Usually, when things are uninhabitable, that means that a health inspector has gone in and said this is unsafe for anybody to live in here. Nobody can live in here until this gets fixed. Dre's $1 million plus houses are having a huge issue in Texas with mold. All my neighbors are getting together and creating a class action lawsuit. Just glad we didn't use Dre's. Good for you. Yes, please do. These people that are building these houses should not be building houses anymore once we realize that they're building terrible houses and really causing and creating unsafe situations for other family members. It's because these new builders are carelessly throwing up houses as fast as they can and not letting them completely dry out after it rains. It's happening a lot in North Carolina. This one responded, I see it every day where I
feel like
live.
this doesn't get spoken about enough, but it's new construction homes. Okay? They are trash, bro. And these builders consistently keep building them just to be trash. They know what they're doing. They know there's all these faults. They know they're going to be screwing the home buyers, but they get away with it. And then when there's the inspectors that get hired to come through to do the job, they do their job correctly and good. They're like, hey, you can't sell this house until this stuff gets passed. Well, then they get that person, they get rid of them. Now they're like, they've got their own like in-house inspectors that are passing these houses that should never pass off, right? They're selling them to people. Some of these people are first-time home buyers, but regardless, they get into the home and like the homes are flooding. If you have not seen some of these TikToks where like the homes are flooding, shit's just falling apart, then they get on the phone like, hey, this is not under warranty, or this is under warranty, but they don't come out and fix it and stuff like that. It's just crazy to me how it's like nobody's getting in trouble for this shit. Every time I see this shit, I'm like, nope, I would never buy a new construction home. You're talking about $1 million homes and shit like that are just complete trash. You touch the brick, it falls off.
Yeah, he's basically pointing out the obvious. These builders, they don't care. They're trying to build these houses, trying to get out of there as fast as they can. And then when it comes down to actually fixing issues that they should have fixed, they're turning the other way. They're having their own inspectors inspect these houses, which we all know how that goes. I work for developers. The number one goal is to get the cheapest contractor you can find. It starts there. And he makes a good point because now with everything going up, the cost of labor is going up. So these contractors, instead of paying for an experienced whatever worker, whatever it is that they do, they're going out there finding the cheapest person, probably going, I don't know, maybe they're going to the streets to the people that are looking for work and then just saying, hey, can you paint, can you do this? They're like, oh yeah, of course I can. And that's what I'm thinking is happening. They're just getting the cheapest labor that they can find. At the end of the day, They're just trying to get
Whoever's
this house sold.
designing these Lennar houses needs a heads up that the bathtub and the master for this floor plan is way too close together, because my cabinet is already starting to disintegrate. I have kids, so they splash water literally everywhere. We've been in this house for 4 years, almost 5, and look at this damage it's already caused. Okay, look at this. You can say whatever you want, but first of all, this should not be this close together, in my opinion. And this cabinet, oh my God. Okay, and don't get me wrong, I'm super grateful for the house that we live in. I love it. It was the very first house we ever purchased, so we did not know anything about builders. Going forward, like whenever we decide to sell this house, I'm gonna have to fix that. I don't know how we are gonna fix that, but we're gonna have to figure out a way on getting that fixed. And I don't know, the next house definitely will not be Lennar.
Yeah, terrible design on part of the builder, like Lennar Home. I think I've heard of them before. It's one of those cookie cutter houses. They make everybody's house almost look the same. I would try to stay away from them. It's maybe like a nicer D.R. Horton home. Comment here says, you need to fix it ASAP. That's mold and bad for your health. Will only continue to damage the home, costing more money in the long run. At the very least, you need to put an antimicrobial paint on the walls, baseboards, and cabinets. Also, seal everything with caulk. If it's mold, I wouldn't be spending any time in there. Maybe start using the other bathroom until this gets completely fixed, because there's a lot of issues with mold, and we don't see them very easily. It's hard to track, and it usually takes a while for you to notice.
Drywall inspection, and we're starting off strong. Oh, it's just lumberyard mold. It doesn't do anything. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Sand it. Get it away. And you know what? Let's just focus on that for today. When the clients walk through and they see this stuff right here, there's some stuff here, a little bit there, a little bit here. I get it, because I've done this before. I know what I'm looking at. I've done framing. I've done thousands of pre-drywall inspections. It doesn't seem to affect me, right? I don't care. It affects my clients and whatever their perception is on it. And heaven forbid, the home inspector goes in and tells them that, oh, it's just lumberyard mold, it's okay. And then they get the house tested a year later and there's mold spores everywhere. You know, who are they going to come after and blame? The home inspector that told them that the mold was okay. So when you guys come after me for saying stupid little things like that doesn't matter, or how easy it is to sand and just get rid of it, I agree with you. It doesn't really faze me a whole lot. If this was my house, I would still ask for it to be sanded, but I'm not freaking out about it. Some people do. Some people have really bad health issues, and I'm here to take care of them as well, okay? So when I put little things in a report like that, it's because I want to cover everybody and cover everybody's bases, and I don't want the liability. This is a brand new house. Anything wrong or potentially wrong, that's on the builder.
If you have somebody pointing something out and the builder is making it seem like, oh, that's not that big of a deal. Oh, like you said, like that's just lumberyard mold. If they're already trying to do the bare minimum and you haven't even bought the house, can you imagine how much of an effort they're going to put once they already have your money? Lumberyard mold is deadly when closed in walls. Glad you're telling them to get it sanded. I don't know much about lumberyard mold, but any mold is not good unless it's in the cheese. I wish you would service California clients. We are going through this exact situation in our new build. Kids having health issues due to mold on our framing, opened walls, and swab tested it. Despite being told it's just lumberyard mold, it all tested as toxinogenic ASP, PEN, I'm not sure what that is. Plus, once it's all closed up and heat and humidity rises, it's an issue. You are helping a lot of families like mine. Yeah, I don't know about these type of molds. I can't imagine any mold that's on wood is going to be good. So just if you see mold, you need to take care of it immediately or avoid it altogether if you can. 1 in 4 people have mold sensitivity, mold illnesses. We cannot be building homes with moldy lumber. There's so many health complications, and maybe we'll do a video one of these days on health and mold, but just stay away from mold. So I'm going to end with this video. This is a video of an inspector talking about the problems with a new home.
Gotta love it when you're just finished up with a new build inspection and you're about to leave and the project manager pulls up and says, so how'd it go? He said, you know, the last home inspector I dealt with called for earthquake straps to be installed at the water heater. He said, you wouldn't have anything like that in your inspection report, would you? I said, no, sir, we live in Alabama. I don't call that kind of stuff. But here's the stuff that I did find. This bathtub's just not draining. This shower's been running for about 3 minutes. We've already got standing water. I don't see no debris. This can move, but this shouldn't move. This needs tightened. Oh, it's not plugged in. Uh-oh. We got a problem, Houston. Let's try this. Oh no. Only the bottom outlet switched. Better put this back. Oh. Yeah, we're gonna need to do something about this. These garage photo eyes should be no more than 6 inches off the ground. We're looking at about 15. This door should auto shut. I'm not a code inspector, but that's a code requirement. This bedroom's GFI protected. This hallway's GFI protected. And this bedroom's GFI protected. The master's GFI protected. Why did they GFI protect the bedrooms? I guess this section doesn't get any crown molding? Nah. This shower enclosure is not keeping the water inside the shower. And the bathtub is still filled with water. Not sure how effective this catch pan will be. Appears this garage is either sloping towards the house or is really level. We got some shrinkage cracking here. I'd recommend having this concrete evaluated. Well, the dirt is nice and painted, but once you pull the dirt away, you can see missing a little bit of foundation here in the corner. We're gonna wanna patch that. This door is really hard to open and close.
This looks like a house that wasn't cheap, and the amount of things that he's finding. And I'm hoping that this house isn't done. I'm sincerely hope that they're just going through the build, and now they're just kind of finished. Now we're gonna start looking to see if everything's done properly. But sad to say, this is a reality for most homes when people buy them. These are the issues that they encounter: tubs not draining, the water leaking out of the shower, cracks. You see molding that's not crown molding that's not completed. Almost like if they had like a deadline and they were like, okay, we have 30 minutes left. Finish up whatever you can in 30 minutes and let's go. And then everybody's like rushing, trying to do things real fast. And then like at the last minute, they're like, forgot all these things. And this is what these houses are looking like when we're buying new builds. Comment below. What do you think about these new builds that are happening? Go yourself. Now you know kind of what to look for. The things like the cracks, the molds, the drains. Make sure the faucets aren't loose like he was showing there. There's a lot of things that you can look into. Maybe even Google some videos on what inspectors look at, and you can do kind of your own little assessment. Obviously, it's not going to count, but just so you can know what to look at and what you can address to the inspectors. It's no longer a race to do who has the best house, who can build the best quality, most durable home. This is now just who can build the house the fastest and the cheapest. So be careful out there. Make sure you're looking out for each other. If you're an inspector, please do your best to help these clients out, these new build buyers. Don't let people get away with this. Make sure you do things in writing, certified, email. Don't let these builders step all over you. Take advantage. If you can, get things with a warranty and make sure you address everything before the warranty expires so that you don't end up having to cough up the bill a year and a month afterwards.